So you've seen the stories of people making up to 30 million coins an hour mining gemstones. And you think to yourself, well, I want to make that kind of money too. So in this video, I'm going to be telling you how you can make so much money mining gemstones. So there are a couple of things I'd like to mention. Firstly, I'll be splitting the video into 3 main parts. The grind to HOTM Mountain 7, then it'll be how to efficiently powder mine and how much of each powder you should get before gemstone mining. And then finally, the fun part, the gear, the HOTM Mountain tree, and also the skills that you should get before making gemstone mining and making serious money. The second thing is that I'm really not that experienced of a miner, so I'll mostly be relying on the knowledge of others to make this. So the way I kind of made the information for this video is by things like watching YouTube videos, going on forums and asking questions. Then also, I just found a couple of different sorts in my lobby and then I started asking them questions and see what they said about it. So yeah, that's how I sort of made this video. And also, just before we start, if you haven't already, then please consider subscribing because it really means a lot to me and I really appreciate it. Also, if you have Discord, then make sure to join my Discord because I do loads of giveaways on there, and I'm also probably going to be giving away this Juju shortbow soon, which has Solid 5 and Overload 5, which is worth about 50 million coins, so you definitely don't want to miss that. Grinding HOTM Mountain XP is really very simple. All you need to do are these things called commissions. Commissions are really simple tasks like collect gemstones, collect crystals, and also mob slayers. In general, you should try to avoid doing the crystal hunters and especially the Corleone boss because this takes ages to find, and in comparison this can take double or even triple the amount of time as the mob slayer and the gemstone collectors. In order to grind the HOTM Mountain XP most efficiently, as soon as you reach HOTM Mountain 3 with the Dwarven Mines commissions, you should immediately go to the Crystal Hollows commissions, because this provides 4 times the amount of XP as the Dwarven Mines commissions, and they're also quicker to do because the Dwarven Mines actually take quite a long time. Another thing to note is that you should always be doing your daily commissions. Crystal Hollows commissions give base 400 HOTM Mountain XP, so if you do 4 commissions, then you get 1.6 thousand HOTM Mountain XP. However, the first 4 commissions of the day that you do give you an extra 900 commissions each. So this means if you did 4 commissions, you'd be making 5,200 HOTM Mountain XP per day, which is a massive increase. So although it doesn't take long, just make sure you log on and just do your first 4 daily commissions, because trust me, if you do this every day, it really won't take that long to reach HOTM Mountain 7. As for the gear and requirements to do HOTM Mountain grinding, it's really not a lot. For your HOTM Mountain tree, it doesn't really matter what you put your powder into, because when you're HOTM Mountain grinding, you're going to be doing so many things. Like you could have mining fortune for gemstone mining, you could have combat, but you could also be mining hardstone, which you would want mold perk. My point is, the HOTM Mountain tree is not really that significant because you're doing so many things anyway. If you're looking for a cheap mining tool to just complete the earlier stages of the HOTM Mountain, I would recommend the Pick and Nimbus because it's pretty cheap, it's really good mining speed so you can insta-break hardstone, and also it's got decent breaking power, so you can't mine things like topaz and jasper, but the chances that you get those commissions are actually quite unlikely anyway, and it still breaks most stuff, so you should be okay. However, once you reach HOTM Mountain 6, I would recommend that you upgrade to a Gemstone Gauntlet. The Gemstone Gauntlet is so good for its price, and it's a good chance that you'll be wanting one anyway when you actually come to the actual gemstone mining, so it's just worth it to get it now. It's got insane mining speed, it's got breaking power 9 so it can break everything, and it has 5 gemstone slots as well. Overall, the Gemstone Gauntlet is fantastic, but the Pick and Nimbus is also decent for its price, and is also good for early game. For the armor, there are probably 2 kind of sets that you need. You should probably have some kind of mining set, so you should probably try to get your hands on Sorrow, but if you can't, then Glaciite might work as well, and you can also get Yogg armor for the Pristine. You will also need a combat set, because there's quite a lot of combat related tasks where you have to kill things like Team Treasurite members, and also things like automatons. So I'm assuming you already know what powder mining is. It's where you go mining hardstone, and then you see these little chests that appear, and then you pick the lock on them, and then you open the gemstone and mithril powder in them. Overall, it's probably the most efficient way for gemstone and mithril powder mining. There are two main ways of doing this and also making a lot of money on the side. The first is doing it in the precursor ruins. This is because the chests have a decent chance to spawn automaton parts, which is the things used to unlock the crystal nucleus and the sapphire crystal. These parts can go anywhere from 100k to even 400k sometimes, and it's not that uncommon to get one, so you really can make a lot of money with this. The other method of powder mining is using a jungle pickaxe and mining in the jungle, because this gives you a decent chance to get sludge juice whenever you mine a hardstone, and sludge juice goes for around 1.5k on the bazaar right now, so if you get a stack of it, it's probably about 100k, which is actually a really good price. To powder mine most efficiently, your Heart and Mountain tree should look something like this. What you should have is just going straight up, then go to get Mining Madness, and then also get Peak of the Mountain. Then also put your mithril powder into mining speed, because this is actually quite important, because you need to get 1.5k mining speed to insta-mine hardstone, and you have to insta-mine hardstone for this to work. So just make sure you reach that 1.5k mining speed. The actually important ones for powder mining is Mole, Great Explorer, and Powder Buff. Powder Buff is pretty obvious, because it just gives you more mithril and gemstone powder. Mole mines loads of hardstone, and it's just great for clearing out lots of hardstone. And the Great Explorer gives you much bigger chance to find those treasure chests which actually contain the mithril and gemstone powder. And then these ones are all just like fillers, because you don't really need those, but the Vein Seeker is actually quite useful. So the nice thing about powder mining is that there's really not much gear requirements for it. All you need is that 1.5k mining speed, and yeah, that's about it. To get this, you should probably put some mithril powder into your mining speed perk in the Heart of the Mountain. You should also get some kind of mid-game mining set, like Glaciite, or if you have the money, Sorrow as well. And for your pickaxe, unless you're mining in the jungle, you can just give a drill or a pickaxe that gives a decent amount of mining speed, and it's not very hard to get that 1.5k mining speed, so you don't really need to worry about that. However, if you're in the jungle, then you need to get a jungle pickaxe to be able to, for sludge mining to be able to work. So now we get to the fun part, which is the actual gear for mining gemstones. By the way, the setups shown in this progression guide are going to be quite expensive. We're looking at 100 million coins plus, so that's just a heads up. Also, the amount of gemstone and mithril powder you get is completely up to you, but I would recommend getting at least 1.5 to 2 million gemstone powder and mithril powder. You'll be making a decent amount of money, but you'll also be making so much more if you're actually taking the time to get even more gemstone powder. So if you get like 4 to 5 million gemstone and mithril powder, then that's just ultimately going to make you a lot more money, and that's where you can start seeing the really big numbers add up. For the armor, the first set I recommend is Sorrow armor. Sorrow armor is relatively inexpensive at around 5 to 7 million coins per piece, depending on which piece you buy, and Sorrow armor also provides a good amount of mining speed, mining fortune, and it has a universal slot, which means you can put topaz crystals in it. And Pristine is really what carries mining and makes it so profitable. The second armor set, which I'm going to talk about, and most of you will probably know, is Divine armor. Divine armor, although it doesn't actually look that bad at around 17 million to 20 million of coins depending on which piece you buy, the reason why Divine armor is so expensive is because of the gemstone chambers you have to buy. Each gemstone chamber costs around 11 mil, and that only unlocks one slot, and there's 5 slots. Although it's not necessarily recommended to unlock all 5, and instead unlocking maybe only 3, it still means that it goes from 17 million to around 50 million coins per piece. However, the investment is absolutely worth it, and you'll be making a lot more money if using Divine armor, because it just gives a lot more mining speed and mining fortune. You should be aiming to put perfect gemstones in it, although it's perfectly fine to put flawless in the mining fortune and mining speed, although the topaz one is really where you should try to put the perfect gemstone in it. For the armor reforge, you should be using the Jaded reforge. The Jaded Emerald gives a good amount of mining speed and mining fortune, and is relatively inexpensive, around 4 million coins. You should definitely put it in your Divine armor, and probably on your Sorrow armor as well, but considering that the reforge is 4 more and Sorrow is only about 5 more, some people might not put it on it. Moving on to the pet side of mining, there are really only 2 pets you should consider using. Firstly, it is the Bow Pet. The Bow Pet, the reason why it's good is because it gives 15% of all stats on the magma field, which includes things like Pristine, mining speed and mining fortune, which just obviously makes it ideal for mining. However, it only really works in magma fields, and it only really works if you're mining topaz. So if you're mining topaz, you should definitely be using a bow. The second pet I want to mention is the Scapher pet. The Scapher pet, although it's about 4 times more expensive, it's absolutely the better pet if you're not mining in the magma fields, and it's better for mining every single other type of gemstone because of the immense 125 mining fortune, and in general, it just gives good base stats as well with the 100 mining speed. If you're looking for a pet item to help you with mining, there is the option of the Quick Claw. Although the Quick Claw is about 100 million coins, it's pretty good, but assuming you don't want to spend that kind of money, then you can just use a mining XP boost. Finally, we come to the mining tools. Firstly, we have the Gemstone Gauntlet. The Gemstone Gauntlet is insane for its price, because it has 1.6 mining speed and it also has 5 gemstone slots. Of course, the most important one being the topaz slot, because it gives pristine, and as we know, pristine is the thing that carries gemstone mining. The Gemstone Gauntlet is also really cool, because when you put in the infinity stones, it actually turns golden, which is actually really sick. The next mining item is the Titanium Drill 655. The Titanium Drill just provides more mining speed, more mining fortune, and in general, it's a drill, so you can add fuel tanks and drill engines, which further increase the mining speed and mining fortune. Although it's so much more expensive than the Gemstone Gauntlet, and it's around 20 times the price, if you want to upgrade it and make more money, then it's just one of these things that you're going to have to make the investment for. And finally, we have undoubtedly the best mining item in the game, the Divan's Drill. The Divan's Drill is extremely expensive at around 1 billion coins, and although it is an upgrade to the X655 and it provides a little bit more mining speed and mining fortune, I honestly just don't think it's that much worth it, considering you're paying about 600 million coins more. Someone did the maths, and apparently it takes about 700 hours to pay itself off. And if you want to spend 700 hours at your computer staring at glass blocks, then be my guest, but I mean, I'm not one to do that. And with the end of the mining gear, that concludes this guide. If you enjoyed it or you found it helpful at all, then please consider subscribing, and if you want, leave a like as well. Also, if there's anything wrong with the video, then just leave a comment saying what was wrong with it, because honestly, you're not being annoying, it actually really helps me out. Anyway, thank you for watching, and hope you have good luck making serious money in the Crystal Hollows.